Let's start the blocking of our walk cycle. I will start where I've left in the last chapter, and I will create a new action. So I will go into pose mode, select my character, and press this icon to duplicate the run cycle. From there I can rename it and click the shield icon to make sure I won't lose this data whenever I restart Blender. Now I will select all the keyframes but the one on frame 0 and I will press X to delete them. Now we need to make sure that we have clean channels. Since we have worked in the graph editor on many curves, I need to make sure that I reset those curves. In my action editor, I will press Ctrl Tab to switch to the graph editor and enable Show Hidden. I will then press Alt H to make sure that I reveal all the curves. And from there, I will press A to select them all, press the T key and switch everything to Bezier. Then I will press the V key and switch everything to Auto Clamp. Now everything is reset. If you have a look to the keyframes, we can see that they have a round shape, meaning that they are all set to Auto Clamp. If I switch to vector, for example, they become square. If I switch to a line, they will have this kind of diamond shape. Now we need to reset the pose of our character before we start working. So I will make sure that I have all my controllers available. And as you can see here, my UI didn't load. So what I will do is open the text editor. And with the Trident Rig script selected, I will press the play button. Now to make sure that it automatically plays whenever I reload the file, I will go to text and enable registered. From there, in the Rig UI, I will enable all the layers and press A in the 3D view to select all my controllers, and I will press Alt R, Alt G and Alt S to reset the rotation, scale and location of all the controllers. Once I'm done with that, I can hide the controller we won't be using. So we can hide the root, the torso tweak for the time being, all the face controller, keep the leg I case, keep the arm F case. While we will be using them, we can hide the hands and we will hide every weapon's controllers. I will just rotate a bit the arm of the character so that he looks a bit more relaxed and we can get started. The first pose we are going to build is the contact pose. Let's have a quick look to the references to spot the key features of this pose. This is the moment where both feet are contacting the ground and are further away one from the other. Both are on their extreme, one on the heel, one on the toes. The hips are slightly tilted up from the back leg that is pushing. The chest is slightly tilting the same way as it is transitioning into the next pose where we will have the contrapposto. But it's twisted the opposite way compared to the hips toward the front arm. Toward the front arm, the center of gravity is almost centered, but it's a bit favorizing the back foot. Note that the reference on the right is showing someone with an athletic walk, so the arm swing motion is a bit extreme. We will keep our walk cycle a little more relaxed, with less amplitude. We will start our first pose by posing the feet. You may choose to push whether the left or right foot forward and the other one backward. Then we can use the roll controller to raise the toes for the front leg and raise the heel for the back leg. I will lower a bit the center of gravity to make sure that the legs are not stretching. Don't forget to pose the toes on the front foot as they are dragging a bit before they contact the ground. For this walk cycle animation, I will try not to rotate on the side or twist the torso root controller. I will slightly rotate it forward to give a more dynamic pose to our character, but we will mainly use this root torso controller for the up and down and side to side motion. I have twisted the hips toward the front foot and I'm twisting the chest toward the front arm. Remember to pose the arms the opposite way as the foot. When the left foot is forward, the right arm is forward. Also remember that your elbow is supposed to rotate only on its local Z axis. You can't rotate your elbow around multiple axes. So when it comes to posing the arm, I mainly use the arm controller to orientate the arm. Another thing to double check so that we don't get the same problem as during the run cycle is to make sure that both the neck and head have their rotation follow disabled. As usual, I'm showing the final pose we are supposed to reach. Don't forget to slightly shift the weight of the character on its back leg by selecting the torso root controller and slightly move it on the x-axis. The left to right motion will be more pronounced on a walk cycle than on a run cycle. Here you can see me fighting a bit with the pose of the hips and the chest because I wasn't looking at the reference. So I was trying to set a contrapposto while the chest should be almost horizontal. The only contrapposto that occur is the twisting. I'm tweaking the pose to make sure that my character look balanced. Take the time to properly refine this pose because this is the one we are going to use to build the other ones. And it will communicate a lot about your character. From there, I will re-enable the end layer and I will slightly pose the ends. So I will build a default pose on one of the ends by slightly curving the palm controller and each finger to make the end pose a bit more relaxed. Then I will select all the left hand controllers, press Ctrl-C to copy the pose and Ctrl-Shift-V to paste it mirrored on the other side. So as explained before, after watching my references, I've decided to slightly realign the chest to have my shoulders more into an horizontal line as on the reference. Don't forget to double check the arm position, the hands position, using the reference as this is the extreme pose for both arms. Then you can push a little bit the feet toward the inside. It will look a little more natural and less robotic. The more you push the feet toward the inside on a central line, the more feminine. So if you were to animate a stereotyped sexy woman, you would push the feet toward a central line. This is the kind of pose you will see in a fashion show. But it doesn't really fit our character, so let's cancel this and jump into the next video.